So this will be submission number 1 out of 4 for RE2 from me for this game. This will be the Claire A submission.
Wait here. I'll check it out.
Running on the PC at variable or 120, well, more just 120 FPS because that is a agreed upon community cap. So we'll start out at this gas station, not knowing what's going on, and the moment we go in the back and encounter our first zombie, everything just breaks loose. And the moment you go past that little cart, it becomes an auto scroller for Leon to get into the door, so you don't need to keep running. And right now, we're on the approach where the original game kind of started.
Can't stop. Gotta keep moving.
And we're gonna do something a little counterproductive here. Come right over and get bit by this zombie twice. So what this does is put us in caution. And unlike in other Resident Evil games, we actually want to be in caution on Claire only. Because when Claire is in caution, she actually runs a little bit faster. Because in her run animation right there, she kind of leans forward and gains a little bit of a speed boost. It's a little strange and kind of counterintuitive, but I'll admit I kind of like it because it makes the run a little bit riskier. Kind of a little bit of sequence break here because usually you'd go up to a PC and find a guy named Elliot on the monitors over here in the east hallway, and that's who we're gonna go meet now. He claims he has found a way out of the police station, and so we're gonna go and check on that right now. And as we can see, the zombie apocalypse has not been very kind. We're not going to actually see Elliot in the run because we're just going to skip that cutscene. One good thing about the game is that cutscenes actually don't count towards in-game time, so if you really wanted to watch cutscenes, you can. And now we're going to meet the next guy on our list. His name's Marvin Branagh. Kind of a legend. Oh god. Laura. That's interesting. I assume that means you saw the Alien Isolation clips then. And Southern accent? Wow, most people say I don't have one. So right now we're just going to go and explore what we can of the RPD at the moment because a lot of it is locked off. It's amazing. Nice. So a lot of it's locked off, and we just need a key in order to access the rest of it. We shoot that guy in the leg to stun him so that we can run right out by. I personally prefer shooting in the leg. I know some runners prefer to shoot the zombies in the head. I find the leg to be a more consistent target myself. Also, I'm glad you liked it, Laura. The clips, Laura. Did I just have one? Multiple languages per community accents more easily. Wow. I mean, I don't think I have much of one myself. It's there, but it's not like blatantly obvious. Yep. And we took that route with the spade after we got the spade key because took you a while to notice it. We took that route after we got the spade key because Marvin would have given us a call on the
Everywhere. Marvin?
on the radio if we went up past where we got the spade key into the library, and that call makes you start walking, and it's very slow. So we wanted to go back down through the west office because we don't have to deal with it at that point. I'm gonna pick this flashbang here. Not many people do pick it up, but I personally really like flashbangs. I think they're like an incredibly powerful tool to use throughout the run, and having extra flashbangs is always really nice. And the reason why we came back over here to this part of the RPD is because we saw, or Marvin called us back into the lab, or not the lab, excuse me, the main hall to tell us of Leon being outside. So we just went over to say hello to Leon, and then now we have access to more of the RPD because we got bolt cutters. And there's a construction zombie around the corner here. He can be really close sometimes. So other times he can be a little bit further to you in the hallway. Right there was kind of a little bit iffy. Items can be discarded when they have a red check mark, which is fairly different than original Resident Evil games, because in original Resident Evil games they would just ask you if you want to discard it the moment it lost its value. However, here it'll just have the red check mark and you have to discard it manually. I kind of wish that system was back where you could just discard it once it outlived its use, but alas.
What was that?
Try to finish this. Oh, I've actually... We're gonna get hit here, probably. Apparently not. No, so you said you had to drive to Michigan or something to visit your parents. Is that that's what accent was? Couldn't place it. Oh no. This weekend I went to Georgia. I currently live in a little state called Alabama. My grandparents are visiting from Utah. Yeah, I've actually never been to Michigan. I'm too... Woman. Someone said Michigan? Different stream. Hello, Cross. Welcome to the commentary streams. Since we're doing some submission runs for good ol'. Oh wait, that's. The reason why some of those splits are blank is because I added them, and I hadn't actually done a run with those active. So Bolt cutters and detonator I added because I felt as though there was too much of a gap between spade key and secret room to accurately gauge.
Hello? Hello?
Like how far in front or behind I am on further runs. And I deleted a few others as well. Yeah, I just wanted it to be a little bit, you know, more.
Words ain't gonna cut it.
So here, the strat for this boss is to point down, start slashing the knife. I personally let it kind of come up a little bit and start slashing him from behind so that he can't grab you. And then just with a few knife slashes, after he starts running around trying to get you, he's gone. And here we meet Sherry. Sherry is the secondary character for Claire.
It won't move. You got it.
We will be seeing more of her later on throughout the run. We even get to play as her a little bit later, but currently
Umbrella. That big pharmaceutical.
Apparently she's just kind of chilling out with us, telling us about her mom.
I don't get to see her much. Well, hopefully you'll get to see her again soon. So, where's your dad? He, worked with my mom, but
Sherry.
gone. Wow. Both of my parents are gone. It's just me and my... Over there!
And right here is where we actually lose track of Sherry because the
Okay.
police chief, Brian Irons, comes and abducts her because he is looking to ransom her. And here we're going to have a nice, lovely little part where we're going to try to avoid some lickers by not walking. Because we're in a speed run, we don't walk, we run. And now I would say that this is probably the most baffling key to be found anywhere in a morgue, which is very strange in my opinion. And now we're gonna have to run right back through, bait them to attack here. Now we're gonna make this guy angry a little bit, duck behind the wall, and now we're good. Because lickers have a refractory period when they attack, when they won't attack again. However, they are fast little buggers though,
Must be where that guy came from.
and they can catch up to you really, really quickly. Taught a do? What is that? You don't know what you're singing? Okay, so it's singing. And so after finally getting out of the RPD, we're coming right on back. As I know we missed this place. Grab this picture. Perhaps the second weirdest place a key will be found in this run. One of my favorite little mechanics from previous RE games is examining things to get other things. Which is exactly what happens there. You have to rotate something in order to get a key item, like in... Unfortunately, I missed that first shot, so he's probably going to come knocking here on the door, which is not the best. Yep. We can run right on by him, just like we did with the very first zombie in the game. Usually you'd want to hit him before he gets to the door so that you don't have to worry about that, but that was really fortunate that he came through really quickly, because sometimes he'll knock like 8 or 9 times or up to 8 or 9 times before coming in, and it's incredibly frustrating and slow when he does that. Examining things together things, wow. Here's the front end of that helicopter that crashed into the building when we went to meet Leon. We're gonna put this fire out. It's still in our way. However, we got a helping hand here from Mr. X.
Jesus, stay back!
And unfortunately, we got punched in the face. Because I had misread that. But fortunately, because we were bit by the zombie with no arms, we had enough health to remain in caution and not drop into danger. I'm going to pick up a safety herb here, just in case the rest of RPD2 doesn't go according to plan. Blarg, Harg, are you doing the Joss Whedon Productions thing? Swan, what's up, dude? Thank you for that raid. We're gonna discard some stuff so we can have some space for other things, like this grenade. Good Mr. X RNG. That was really bad. I should not have used a knife there. That was really, really bad. I used a knife and I really shouldn't have. We should be fine here. Oh my god. So we'll be missing a knife. There is a backup knife along the way. A little bit along the way. We're just getting the last electrical part to open up the gate in Chief Irons' office so that we can get the parking key card and that we can go and pursue Chief Irons so we can go get Sherry. There's joking in my chat now. Wow. I believe Twan's baiting out a certain quote from me, and I'm not going to give him the satisfaction. We're gonna YOLO this right here. We're gonna use flashbang since we didn't use one earlier, unfortunately. I thought I could get behind him. I thought I could get behind him there, but that was not the case, obviously. But we're still ahead of schedule on flashbangs anyway, so we'll be fine. We're continuing it, Swan. We're fine. We're fine, dude. We're fine. Anything too interesting when I edit that? Wow. So earlier I mentioned that we were going to play as Sherry, and we're going to do that right now. Sherry has a very interesting section where we're just going to play hide and seek here in a minute. But first we have to play with some blocks like kids do. And why we had to cut tape, I'm not really sure. I feel like Sherry should have been able to peel it off herself. Max, hello. And no, we did not get the really insanely good RNG for the blocks. So in the original Resident Evil, when you played Claire, you got to play as Sherry as well, but it was a little bit more dangerous because you got to dodge regular enemies such as zombies and the Dobermans. And in this one, you just gotta solve a puzzle and then play hide and seek here.
That must be the door out of here.
We know it's the door out of there, but it's not necessary to go and examine the door because we'll find out that it's locked.
Oh no.
And then when we get the key here, in a minute, we'll realize that the door has also been chained. Right there is Catherine Warren. She is the mayor's daughter. Mr. Irons here has a hobby of taxidermy, and he kills, in this game anyway, he kills the mayor's daughter so that he may have a wonderful trophy, I believe, is what the DLC says. But right here is where we're going to play hide and seek, because Irons found Sherry had gotten out, and Sherry threw a bottle of acid in his face.
It's all over now.
I missed the sass, Laura. I always miss sass. Flick your bangs.
Where are you? Show yourself. I know you're in here. The longer it takes me to find you, the worse it's gonna be.
Side swoop, nice. Here, though, we kind of find ourselves in the speedrunner's worst enemy, the auto scroller. So it's not necessarily too interesting to be in a run, so you can kind of like stand up and kind of, you know, walk around a little bit as he's just kind of looking around to kind of entertain yourself while doing this part. Alabamians are good at sass. Now we're just gonna take a nice little sprint. Some people like to go to like the final hiding spot over there by the desk as soon as possible. I like to kind of just get underneath this table because he can't for whatever reason see you underneath this table, and I just like to sit here and just kind of chill out for a second because I can take my hands off the keyboard and stuff. Not the straight across. Usually aren't good on short hair unless you're a model with awesome sideburns and flicking bangs. I missed my chance.
This is your last fucking chance. Show yourself. Now!
So that audio cue, I was supposed to,
Oh, fuck. It burns.
I was kind of supposed to be right here in that middle of that desk, but it's fine. We're fine here. Wait, I have bangs and sass? No. I cut my hair really short. I have really short hair because I dislike how my hair looks and how it feels. So I usually get it buzzed. I also don't like faffing about with it.
I'm coming in, Sherry.
And clearly, Irons is a hacker because for whatever reason, somehow he has an axe and is on top of us on that door when he probably didn't even get out of that other room in like 0.2 seconds. So he needs to teach us how to speedrun this, obviously.
Just you wait, asshole.
Is this Shining fan fiction? Some say that it is. Let's see. Well, I'm from Georgia. I just currently live in Alabama. Hey Machiavelli, how's it going? And Twan is from Alabama. And even went to the University of Alabama. Of course, this is cue to say those dirty words.
Looks like the only way forward.
Tigers Bizarro Twan. What, you talking, he's from Alabama, lives in Georgia, and I'm the exact opposite? This here's Misty. We're not gonna bother her. I like to think of it as reverse Twan. But that is, or the upside down. That was really unfortunate. No, Misty, like Pokemon. Like the water Pokemon trainer. Just because she's kind of wearing like the short shorts and like the tank. Even though I know she wears like a actual, you know, shirt. She let herself go.
It's gotta be the orphanage.
Fans of the original will recognize a few little spots in that little run up,
Hang on, Sherry.
like the basketball court and the bus that were in the original game. Fortunately, now they're only clear unless you go out of bounds on Leon,
Hello?
but we're not going to go out of bounds.
Attendant.
Oh my god. As we can see, some things have gone down in our absence when we last left Sherry.
Sherry? Where are you? Claire! Sherry? I'll be right
Here we
there.
have Sherry. And our good buddy, Mr. X, is here.
Go, go, go! Claire! It's behind you! Don't stop! Hurry! Keep going.
Oh man.
Claire, are you all right? Go, go, go! Sherry?
Mr. X is gonna
Don't
live
you
forever.
hear me?
Well, no, he does not, because he dies in that cutscene we just skipped.
Ow, I'm gonna smell like shit. Literally.
Oh man. Wait. Twan used to be Weird Al? What? I'm a celebrity in the chat now? Oh, that's crazy. Oh, you didn't see it?
Cable car. Here?
That's the cable car to take us to the nest or the lab later on, but we're not going to take it right now.
Hold on, Sherry. I'll be right there.
The Sherry's right down there. We're going to lower this well, not drawbridge, but this little platform so we can run across. But before we go all the way across, we're just going to grab these bullets because we have enough time. So in the safe to our right is the upgrade for our pistol here to be basically Claire's version of the Magnum, but we're not going to pick that up because we are going to use some other lovely little strats, namely a gun that most people write off. But I can understand why, because when I first was using it as in a casual playthrough, I was also underwhelmed with it. And we're going to use the grenade that we got from the bus to take out some zombies right there, because we're going to be coming through this intersection quite a bit, and it's honestly, in my opinion, a little bit better to just go ahead and take them out instead of just dealing with them. Right there is the G adult. Basically, the thing that comes out of irons mutates and grows up into those things. They're fun little creatures.
What the fuck?
However, the ledge is their very, very real enemy. And so if you're on a ledge, they can't get to you. They can probably punch you, but I've not really tested that, nor do I really want to. Just run right on by this zombie right here. And we're going to pray this guy's despawned. If he hasn't, it's no big deal, because when we're on a ledge and you shoot them, they dive in to the water. And we just kind of abuse the their animation lock, because when they're going down into the water, they can't do anything else until they finish their animation. Love floofy doggos and non-floofy doggos. I actually didn't grow up with dogs when I was, well, I was gonna say when I was growing up, but that's incredibly redundant. I would kind of like to have a dog, but I just don't know when I would be able to have one.
Okay. This place is creepy. Oh, Jesus.
So this is probably like one of the more interesting and least favorite areas in the game because of all the G adults here. You have a cat. Fat mess of fur. Yeah, see, I grew up with cats. Taze emotes. I don't believe I know that streamer. So right there is our choice gun for the run. The Spark Shot. Love joggers as much as I love kitties. In the B route, we would have to deal with 2 zombies, but we only have to deal with this one, and it looks like we have some fantastic RNG here. Is he just going to be on the ground? Yep, he is just going to be crawling around the ground, which is the absolute best RNG you could possibly hope for. Which is amazing. I rarely ever see that. Broke his legs from the fall? No. I mean, it doesn't look like he fell legs first, though. Alright, this could be a little bit interesting. So that was trying to bait him to do an attack. This one, there's gonna be one more right here as a surprise, but we can jump right up here on this ledge. And while he's in the grab animation, we can jump down. Oh, that was a little close. I didn't bait him further down than I should have. A long napple. Well, Laura, that's the last time we'll see them in this entire run. The last time. So rejoice. We're gonna grab this herb for safety because I feel like I just want to, you know, factor in a little bit of safety into this run right now so that we can complete it because we are a pretty decent bit ahead of the PB. Make our second and last item box trip. And now we're going to solve the puzzle. And this is why we gathered up all of those chest looking pieces throughout this little visit to the sewers. You love bunnies? I've never had a bunny.
All right, Sherry.
They are very cute though.
On my way.
Oh, I bet. Animals are really awesome. I forget those switches sometimes, but it can only be a few things. So instead of waiting for him to just attack several times, we can come over here to the door and throw a grenade. And he'll immediately come down. Get a few shots in. This container right here is what we're going to be using to knock him off this platform, but first what we have to do is do a little bit of damage to him. It's unfortunate. We're probably going to get hit here. Nope, we're good.
Have I got a surprise for you?
We're going to flash him one more time. It's unfortunate. We're good. So what you want to do there is deal about 50% of your damage, or 50% of his health, so that you can knock him off of the platform with one container.
Ned said her lab's not far. Wait, that cable car.
So now Sherry's been infected. We're going to go treat her in the lab.
Hold on, Sherry. You're gonna be fine.
So she's not looking too good.
Almost there, Sherry. We're almost there. Oh, good. Cable car.
Have those assignments you would rather just pay the professor than do
Better check everything.
all the time.
There's no turning back.
Anytime that I am in a group presentation and no one else wants to do it,
Do not exit until the final destination.
oh, she's not dead. See, check it. See, she just has a little bit of eye thing going on, but I think some clear eyes would you know, I think some clear eyes would, you know, help that. You rock it. I mean, I love group presentations myself, but
Hold on, Sherry.
the
It's okay.
drawback to that is you would probably have 3 or 4 other people who should be sharing in the workload that aren't doing anything.
For your safety, stand clear until the doors are fully open.
Oh, I mean,
For your safety, stand clear.
most of my professors, they would have group evaluations.
Your visit.
Like you would get to evaluate your group instead of, you know, taking a bad grade. Her skin tones have a dead body. Man, she just hasn't gone out much. That's it. That's all it is, Laura. Come on now. Let's not make the girl feel bad. You get to vote people out of the group. See, that's awesome. I wish in my program I would be able to do that. Or when I was in the program, my program. But now we're in the lab, which is where Umbrella does their nefarious deeds. Zombies decay so quickly, how is that possible? I'm not entirely sure. I mean, that is a very good point. They will fail hard, so make the group happen. So this guy here is probably gonna be right outside this door. So we're gonna use the broken knife more than likely to get him. I love some rosiness. I'm just making stuff up. I mean, it's just one of those like, it's this reason.
Dr. Lee, your presence is urgently requested by Chief Cartwright in the East area.
Stagnant air and super powerful AC can keep zombos mostly together. Oh yeah, absolutely. It's like when they found a bunch of fairly intact remains in, like, you know, like sarcophagi and stuff like that. Stuff that's like incredibly well preserved, and it's insane how, you know, thousands of years ago these guys have created better preservative techniques than we have today. Kids on street movie will grow up to be a bad boy. Poor Remy. And swamps. Yeah. Here we're going to find the cousin to the Plant 42 found in Resident Evil 1, Plant 43. Going to be a little bit easier to deal with and take care of than Plant 42 was in the original game. So the code inputs there, they don't change for between like Leon and Claire, but they do change between the A and B routes. So when you do the B routes, they would be different. Didn't upgrade my spark shot just yet. We'll take care of that in a minute. And here we also find the reimagining of one of RE2's original enemies, the plant zombie.
Manual mode engaged.
Although I do believe it was just a plant monster in the original game. Here it's full on like body infested with vines and stuff like that. They can be kind of annoying, especially because when they grab you and if you don't use a defensive item, they will kill you outright. So you need to either shoot them before they get to you or use a defensive item on them. And we're stocking up on grenades for a later boss fight. It'll be the last boss fight that we do. Oh, and earlier, I should have mentioned, one of the weapons that you get with Claire that is incredibly awesome is the grenade launcher. Typically, you could get it in the police station. You get it in the police station, or if you don't get it there, they will give it to you in that little room that you take Sherry. Drain bodies in the air, don't move. Same air petrifying the body, plus the body being drained. The fluids on the similar for the body. I mean, that right there was a body falling down from the ceiling. Or from the railing. Kind of similar to how the body, when we picked up the King Plug, did. And now we get to deal with 2 zombies on the way back. Now we're going to have a couple liquors when we were doing the signal modulator, and that was really, really close. We'll take care of Laura. If you're not back, well, I hope you have a lovely evening. We're going to take this a little bit risky. We're just going to keep running straight forward. Bait and attack. That's unfortunate, but we should be fine here. I do believe we're about to get caught up on. Oh my god. I keep forgetting that so much. And now we get to bait some liquors. Pick up the herb again just in case we get hit again. That was a very unfortunate area.
Welcome
Completely
back.
forgetting the signal modulator code.
New messages.
Damn. Should have packed.
It's been a hot minute since I've done that particular code.
Cooling complete.
And now we get to run back through that area. And because I used that knife earlier, we're gonna have to pick up a knife in in another room here in a minute. So we're just gonna do the flashbang really quickly. Dash through these zombies. And we're gonna come right in here real quick. Grab that knife. And then we're gonna come back out. And hopefully get through this door without being attacked. Little detour to get that third knife, but we need it for later on. Couple of vine zombies, and we're not going to deal with them. We're just going to go right up this way instead. Very rare to see two of them right next to each other. Very rare. And now we're going to get some herbicide sprayed out so we can get the third band upgrade. I believe it's the senior staff
So much for the
upgrade.
weed infestation.
Warning. You
This
have
looks pretty good.
a dangerous solution without authorization.
It's unfortunate they're not just outright killed or taken out by the pesticide.
And you may be
They're just kind of stunned a little bit because as we're running back, they're going to be active. And up in here, there will be another one that we didn't see before. Right there in that corner. He can kind of get you, especially on newer players. This is very unfortunate, as we went and got that knife, but I had to use it, otherwise we would have been goners. So we're going to have to do some very interesting things for G3 here. That was my fault. I could have squeezed by, but I didn't take the chance because I really wanted him to be stunned.
Find that antiviral agents.
I don't think there's no knife in there, so we're going to have to rely on a few things in the G3 arena, which will be fun. Very, very fun. All right.
Thank
So
God.
ideally we'd have 3 knives
Need to
here,
guard
but
me.
obviously we do not.
Gotta get back to Sherry.
So we're going to have to make do with just the 2. So I think we're going to do some very interesting audibles here.
Class A breach detected. Class A until target is neutralized.
This is bad. So normally what I would do is actually start knifing him now, but because I do not have 3 knives, I need to let this animation wear off, because when he does it, when he is down the first time, even if you do no damage, he will automatically lose about, like, have health go down to 60% ish as kind of a transition to the next phase. So this is already not a very good fight here. Let's see if I can just tighten this up here. And now we can go into knifing. And he's dead. Well, not the best G4, or G3, excuse me. It wasn't
Target has been
terrible
neutralized.
either. And unfortunately, instead of grabbing a regular, like just a green herb so that we can still be in caution, we have to grab that fast because it's the only thing that we can use to restore our health around here.
Gotta get back to Sherry.
So certainly a few missteps there, but definitely a very doable fight, even if you do not have the ideal sub-weapons in order to deal with them. So just before that fight, we actually did get the antiviral agent, and we gave it to Annette, Sherry's mother, to give to Sherry back here. So we're just going to go pick up Sherry. And then we're going to start our escape out of here.
Sherry, can you walk faster? I don't want to rush you, but we have to go.
This part's a little bit of an auto-scroller, just a little bit. Not entirely, but you kind of can't speed it up a whole lot simply because of Sherry here.
Hell out of here.
Sherry will go as fast as she wants and no faster.
Self-destruct sequence initiated. Use the central elevator to evacuate immediately to the bottom level train platform. Attention. Self-destruct sequence initiated.
Claire? Yeah? Thank you for being so nice to me. For helping me. I'm really glad I met you.
I'm really glad I met you too, Sherry. But save your things until I get you out of this place.
To the bottom level train platform.
Here's another fairly iconic location of RE2's original lab reimagined. I believe you pass by it a little bit more in the original game, whereas in this game you just kind of run right on by it. We're just trying to bait Sherry to open that door a little bit quicker. By running into that corner. Here we see some more of our friends, the vine zombies, but since they're on the floor, we can just run right on by them. And I've actually never seen Sherry actually get grabbed here, so I don't know if it's possible for her to get grabbed. I think it would be a little bit unfortunate if a run would just be killed just because Sherry is a little bit slow. So I'm incredibly glad that the developers did not include sections that you had to defend an AI partner from enemies, because I feel as though that would be a very not fun thing. So any parts with AI partners are usually auto scrollers and generally do not have enemies. But you shouldn't be going too slow in this part anyway, even on a casual playthrough. Here we're just trying to stall them. Because we really don't want... We're just waiting for Sherry to open this door.
Nice work.
And unfortunately, I don't have a bullet at all to deal with this zombie, so we're just going to do something unconventional and just throw a grenade at him. A massive waste of a grenade for what I have to do next.
You hanging in there?
But it's
Had a girl.
alright. It's not a big deal because ideally for this next boss you want to have 3 grenades. 4 is better because 4 is better, but obviously I had to make some sacrifices there because I think baiting him would have been a little bit slower, but it's fine. We're fine here.
8 minutes until
So we're just going to take this little joint plug, pop it in here, and then we'll get a call from Leon, and we're going to tell Leon to meet us here. And now we're going to fight William Birkin for the 4th and final time on this particular run here, G4. So this fight is not really about HP percentages. It's more about how many eyes that you can pop. So you want to use the grenade to pop as many eyes as we feasibly can. And the knife is really great for also popping eyes. That's unfortunate he ran around the corner like that. And that is his death animation. So when he's in this animation, he's actually dead, and you just can back away from him and not do anything to him. But if you pop his eyes, he'll actually die a little bit faster. And that right there is the end of a Claire A run. We skip some cutscenes. Have a little preview of what is to come for whenever you play a B route. And we have a 56-14.